Please, if your spouse is still downstairs, just drop her or him a message to please join us, because what we're discussing is not about just one person, it's about the couple. And I'm believing that at the end of our meeting today, we'll be living here enriched. We'll be living here the better than we came. So quickly, a word of prayer. Thank you, Almighty Father, for this great opportunity we've had again to be here. We thank you because we are confident that you are the one who's inspired marriage, and you've brought us into it. And you've got great designs and plans for us. And every day you open our eyes to things to do, on things we can correct, to make ourselves, make our homes the better for it. And whenever we have such opportunities, we are grateful to you. So we say, blessed be your holy name. Even as we go on into this meeting, God, teach us from the experience of those who will be speaking, from the lessons we'll be learning from each other. We ask that you open our eyes and that we will live here blessed in Jesus' name. Okay. I'm not, I don't like the camera. So, okay, so we're having a panel discussion. Please, can someone help me get mommies away? Yes, please. Our two discussants are not strangers. They are one of us. I mean, they are part of us. Already we have one person here. This is Mama from B. Please, let's welcome her into our meeting. So it's a pleasure to have her in our midst. And the other person is Mommy Zoe, that's our Mama. And both of them will be discussing today's topic from the practical point of view. Like I posted on the group, we're discussing in syncs, raising children together. And as simple or trivial this may sound, it goes a long way to affect how we conduct our homes and the way we act. And sometimes it's easy to cast blame or point fingers. Please, you're welcome, please. Thank you. Please, a round of applause. So, like I was saying, like I said, it's easier to cast blame and point fingers. He or she didn't do it right. But maybe we should look inward at what we are doing and perhaps are not doing right, or what we can do better. So that's the essence of our discussion today. And I'm hoping at some point we'll open the floor, take questions from the house. We'll not just be speaking like we say in medicine, not just talking stuff. We'll hit practical things so that we know how to learn from them. So please, let's go together. So quickly, without much waste of time. So on Friday, yeah, so we're starting from there. Mine is not on our group, so I'll just go back there so that we start our discussion from there. We posted a question on the group on Friday, and the question was, or I think that reframed it, who did it right? Was it Rebecca? Was it Isaac? And I'm sure, at least for those of us who were awake or who could read through or who commented, of course, it sounded like banter back and forth. But even in all that fun or jesting, so many things came out. So let me ask, who do you think did it right, or who was the better parent? Was it Rebecca or was it Isaac? I'm speaking from Genesis now. Yeah, Genesis 25, 26, 27. I'm open. Anybody? Forget that we're in church, just assume that we're in our sitting rooms. So let's just pretend that we're in the sitting room. Anybody? Mr. Light? Who do you think? I mean, I don't think it's the right answer, really. Personally, I don't think it's the right answer. So what do you think? Pick one anyway. You pick can answer. Somebody else. Mr. Willie. What do you think?
They don't feel like
Okay, thank you very much. So Mr. Gwynle says both of them had a problem. So very few, perhaps nobody was perfect. Okay. I'm believing that as we go on, we'll get to understand this. So I'll turn to my comments. Okay. You know, we have the benefit of experience. Mom is the way we'll be speaking to us from, there's this tendency to feel like the grandmas, their generation is far gone. They'll be moving old stuff. New research has come out. We have Mom is the way to help us cater for that. And in case we feel that maybe Mom is the way not talking about 15, 20 years, we also have grandma. I mean, 30, how many years of having raised children?
34,
Exactly. And Mom is the way. Now, we're not even talking about biological children. Let's not mix. I'm speaking about biology and non-biological. And with the grace of God, that's one benefit we have in the church. We get to raise children who are not biologically as, but God has given them into our care to raise them aright. So, since we'll be starting with grandma, what would you say are the core principles that guide parenting? Hallelujah.
I say, why are you moving me to this type of thing? You are all young people. You explain like they have experienced. So I'm happy being with you, and it's just to share experience. He said, principles guiding parenting.
Yes.
You know, when we want to build a house, like the bare floor we have there now, if we want to build this, something we are talking for teenagers now, we cannot just carry block on top and start building. Is it possible?
No.
So parenting has a foundation that cannot be changed no matter your generation. I repeat it. Just as you cannot build a house without a foundation being dug, they put block and put concrete, so is parenting. The principles, foundation. If we go and come back, we will still come back to that generation. There's those of us who are over 60, all the rest. It's the same thing. It's only that the way our mother used it. To save time, I want to say, if one of the principles of parenting, I decided to use my book because this for some time, you open that book. So I prefer writing. Unconditional love for parenting. But before I say that, I want to let us know that parenting is a task. One is a task. One is a choice. Nobody forced you to say, I want to have a baby. Nobody forced you to take somebody's child and say you want to care. So it's a task and it's a choice. So anything you have decided to take a choice to take something, it goes choices go with responsibility. I don't know if I'm right.
Yes, that's correct.
Whatever choice you make has its own responsibility. So we know that I've made a choice to have 10 children. By the grace of God, my sibling, same mother had 10 children. So I know what I'm talking about. We decided to just have one. We decided to have two. It's your choice. It's my choice. And those choices go with responsibility. And the responsibility is not a joke. It's a task that must be done. So, like as you said earlier on, I will be more comfortable standing. If you talk of children, you are not only talking of your biological children. Some of us are privileged to have relations or children just by chance come and live with you. They are your children. And it is your choice. I always say, when somebody comes, mommy pay or I'll stay with you. It's your choice to say no or to say yes, because it has responsibility. So it's a matter of individual. But all the same, there is a guide to it. And that guide to parenting is what we want to talk about. The principles. One, unconditional love. Unconditional love. That first question that was asked, there was no unconditional love. Love for Isaac, love for Jacob. That's problem. Unconditional love is one of the principles for parenting. We have some children, mostly if we get only one care, maybe you stop having children and the pregnancy don't fail. You still have to love that child unconditionally. I don't want to have boys and I'm having boys. Okay. To parent that child, you must love that unconditionally. I've met a colleague, the wife, first girl, second girl, third girl, if I told the fourth, they came to the office, said the wife has delivered, and he refused to go to the hospital. Sorry, I prefer examples. So somebody just said, Mama, something is happening. So what's happening? I went to some. Congratulations. You know, I couldn't hide it. So, can someone there? So I have to take him up, and by the grace of God, and he took up those forgets. Those forgets are outside the country with the wife in Nigeria. It just needed somebody to give him understanding and pushing. Cannot produce the girls. Who brings the guys? You don't need to be a doctor. Who brings the guys? Man, so why are you complaining? Lack of understanding. That's one. So when we have a conditional love for the children, we will value them. Because what you don't place value on, you cannot work on it. Two, consistency in parenting. Consistency. Which, if it's not consistent in the family, there will be division like Isaac and Rebecca. They lay it down on you. They lay it down on you. Because this one is younger. You don't want to treat like people pour water. You now glance on the elder one. Each attention as if something. It should not be. We should be consistent. If you say you should not take more than 1 sweet in a day, why you are having the other one to take more than 2 sweets in a day? These are little things of medicine we do for children. First Baptist Church cannot know. I brainwashed all the children to know that you don't need more than 1 sweet in a day. Even if the pack in your mother's house. You don't need more than 1. It's going to spoil their food. So consistency. Establish consistent rules, routines for all of them. Don't shift it. 3, communication. Open one. Open communication. I think it's a major problem with us parents. We don't communicate. We have a neighbor. She has a house girl. That girl is more than a house girl. I was telling her, I said, look, if this lady lives, only a motive there, I've been begging her, but don't take me by surprise. If you want to go, she was begging her. What am I saying? There's a baby. That means she should be 10 months. Right around 10 months. If this girl is talking in that voice, you will think she's talking with a grown-up. She will take her aside and say, this is properly. Is it properly? Because if I'm not here, and how many times have you been complicated with that side? Even the one in Graceland, she's the one. We should communicate with our children. Communicate. Let them feel free. We should not be immediately they see us, especially fathers. I'm sorry to say, the children take over. We should make open communication. As small as they are, they understand. Let's communicate with them. Let's interact. And I want to say in this communication, mothers especially, it's not only mouth you use to communicate. Actions. You can use your hand, you can use your leg, you can use your eye. I just imagine I come to your house, you serve me drink. I will be saying, you don't need to call that child by name. You don't need to call that child by name. Before the child guy gets there. What you pay? Ṣé o ti bá sọ̀rọ̀ ó fojú pé kó má fojú kókó ṣe let that person go back in his life or her life to be child. So communication is only not by mouth, and we should not assume that these children don't understand those. Please. A young man was sharing with me some months back that he called his father. It's not about 20-something. He said, amongst all of us, I know I'm the least loved. Told his father. He said, I know I'm the least loved. If you are a parent, how do you see it? No communication, nothing. Anything. And this guy now, more or less, the breadwinner for the family. I told him that no matter if your father has even given you up, you sleep after. God has placed you in a position. Show love. Show love. Don't bother. Oh yeah, it's my mother as in I life. Mother economic. You must show love. So parents, let's communicate. Then spend quality time with the children. It's a principle. It doesn't change. That's what I said. I know our time. We say, I'm not share and shaking. Spend time with them. If not, you confide in people outside. They will plan a lot of things. Spend quality time with them. Instead of going to sleep with your friends, let it still instead of going to sleep with your friends, stand, go jump. Let it be with you and your children. Discipline in love. There's room for discipline. I tell people, I just came back from taking care of a baby. At 3 months, 4 months. Discipline. Even when the baby is in the stomach, you can discipline the child. Mothers, especially those of us who have made. Some are very good. They will go this way. They will go this way. You want to lie down, can't speak to the child. Speak calmness. Put down your head. The one I went to do. Because if you're shaking, you can't put his head on your shoulder. It's always like this. The father will say, okay, what can I do? Don't see that. I will talk to him. You don't just bad. You discipline in love. And there's no child too small to do this. That's not crazy. No child is too small. Ẹgbà ilé ìgbì òkèrè ẹgbà kan different way. When I say there's not necessarily weeping, the correction. No child is too small to be because you know what is best for that child. If you don't discipline, if it's what he wants or what he wants is the best, my money. Then another principle is foster independency in the child as they grow. Parents, we are failed this generation. We are taking decisions for them, even when they have got them doing, give them responsibility send children to the school because of that access. So that they will not be able to show it. You know when it is dry, not until rain is coming before you have remove it. Someone put his Joe, and catch up the road. That's constant dependence. People with money at home, give them money. One of our advice when they told my father, since I finished school, I've been waiting. There's no day to say they want that for money. There was a relation was cut, and we were helping that father. The father, don't worry. This issue is different. Teach them. When you give him 500 or 1,000 of each, see how he manages it. See how he manages it. To know that when he gets to university, can you entrust a whole 20,000 to him and he will manage it very well? So let's give them dependence. You are not at home. A visitor comes. The visitor should not feel that you are not at home. People go back and answer. The visitor on your back. You should have taught the child how he can serve, what he can put together to prepare. Because we have teenagers, we have grown-up. So let's foster independency in them. Then let's be a model, our very self, yourself. Be an example. Be a model in dressing, in speaking, in reaction, in walking. Let them be the ones that if you about today and always tell them before you come here, I'll finish my work. I cannot wait for anybody. Let them see a model that my father and mother can help. Because children, they will grow up like my own, they will grow up and marry. If I'm the one who will tell my husband, Daddy, you cannot wash that plate in the kitchen for me. It's happening. Am I lying? I will open the question somebody sent to me that I answer on this issue. Visitor one father. And Danny, have you cleared the place in the kitchen? And the husband said so hot, he has to say, talk. It's an example. Can our children come from our homes and make their home because they've seen model in us the way we do our things as husband and wife? We think these children are smart. They are learning. Good. I'm not saying husband should not help. I was sharing with one of our church members day before yesterday, when Daddy was still around, Baba. We made Zobo to breakfast, and sometimes we make up to 120 pieces of bottles. I don't have anything. Sometimes me and my husband will sit down for because I'm at 4. He helps me. We should help one another. Let's, as women, please, I don't want you to take it as right. Because it's part of parenting. You are teaching the children in the home. And as a man, my phone come and say, "Go share your back." I thought you will get married, but the first wife cannot be like the second wife. Why am I rushing you? And you come home with me, maybe you can say, "Oh, first me." So back in the family. Is it the way you were angry me or the way you would talk to me? I will remember all what I told one. I said, "What are you telling me? Sure, when you move back, I don't want to move there. Please feel also." So please, it's part of parenting. And set boundaries to help children. Let us set boundaries. Because if you don't set boundaries, there's tendency for them to go off the boundary and you will be angry. Mommy has known that we should not do this, we should not do that to escape. Set boundaries for them. They knew when they were growing, St. Joseph, when you finish eating, everything is good. You must observe siesta, especially on Saturday. They will say they are not finished. I said, I will just say, I want to hear you people snoring. All the story said, it's not one I will making. I said, by the time you do, leave that side there. Because that's the boundary to stay on the bed. Those who know. Until they got to know by themselves that siesta is for their own good. So let's set boundaries. I have a principle. I cannot say the late virgin, go to the water and take your seat, but they know their boundaries. Can't you see at the end, let it be chicken in that pot. They know the facts that belong to their mother. They know the facts that they set boundaries. And then you will know at that time it's making. At the time we were 13 in that house. My husband will say, this freedom you are giving all these children, they are too much. I say, you are para, I put the food in the cooler. One day they ate, the last person came to run their death. I told them, I said, you are not considered. You should know that one person is left to church. My own children are there, people's children are there. Set boundaries, let them know what to do. And lastly, not take the whole time. Positive reinforcement. What I mean by positive reinforcement, not only correcting for bad things. Come on, you have done well. Well done. If it means giving reward of one thing or the other, there's a thing. For positive character, for behaving well. There are some children, I struggle with one now. Grandma Carol. I said, but you know, I won't take this from you. I won't take it from you. But when you have a child, for me, that immediately see grandma. Everything bad biscuits must get a reward to encourage good behavior. These are principles that we can't change, no matter the age, no matter the times.
Thank you. I'm sure you think that was quite an extensive one. Mommy, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Grandma has finished everything.
It gets very interesting.
Grandma has finished everything. I just want to, she has mentioned all the principles that I think I've already written down. I'll just I'll just add a little to some of the ones that she also mentioned. On the principle of consistency, she mentioned that consistency. On principle of consistency, one thing I want to mention under principle of consistency is that as husband and wives, our ideology, our values must be same, must be consistent. Because I've discovered that these children are so wise and they are smart. They will look for a way to bring, they do divide and rule. They do divide and rule a lot. When they notice that a particular hand is soft in handling and another one is very disciplined, so they will go to the one that they know that is soft and they will go and find their way around it. And as soon as they are able to win you over, they've already caused a division between the parents. They're just trying to get what they want. But they must understand that whatsoever daddy says, that is what mommy will say. And whatsoever mommy agrees on, that is what daddy will agree on. Something happened at home, and you know the thing is, one of the things I know that I can get my children to do anything is don't worry. When I say don't worry, they know that the next thing I will tell you that. Because if he wants to beat them, he beats them, as in he will beat them. After beating them, he will go and bath for them. Give them paracetamol to take, I say go and sleep. So they rather prefer that I should just take it, give them like so you just prefer that let me just give them those 3 wives of Cain and then that is all they're saying that daddy will beat them. So I know that when he's beating, sometimes he can get like put in purge. But I will not show it on my face. In fact, I will be saying that you did wrong. When mama will pay, but I won't say anything, and I'll just fetch and look. In fact, there are some grown-ups in my house that as soon as it starts beating them, we don't see beat them for maybe once in a year or maybe sometimes once in 2 years. So I know some of them that you have never even beaten more than once. But when he beats, some grown-ups in my house will say, mommy, better. In fact, some of them will be crying when he sees them beating. But I won't do anything. I'll just maintain my straight face. And then after beating them, he will take them to the bedroom. He will bath for them. You will give them paracetamol. So you go and lie down. You know why I beat you? I will say, yes. What did you do? They will stay till they are sleep. When you wake up, come and apologize. And then when they leave, I will not go and say, baby, my head is for I don't want to be a deal, but I will not say it in their presence because they are trying to set a consistency that they know that whatsoever applies to mommy also applies to dad. And then under that same principle of consistency, another thing I also want to mention there is making sure that the same thing that you apply on the first child goes on the second child as well. And I discovered that most times, first one, no matter really, because we use them, we use we use the firstborn as our yardstick of parenthood to prove to us that we are doing it right. And then we emit so many principles on them that as soon as we have the second child, it's the second child that will now be enjoying, and then the thing is just going down. And then the first child will now be feeling as if, why is it that you do all these things to me? And then when it comes to him, or when it comes to her, you just like feel and things like that, and things like that. I also fell into that particular trap. The day I heard my son say that, if it is me now, I know what you have done. That thing actually resets my brain. I know that, no, I think I'm already dropping first when it came to the other children. So let there be consistency in discipline, consistency in teaching, consistency in training, so that they will come to understand that as far as this thing is concerned, everybody is getting the same treatment. And then under the principle, I want to mention one other principle, that's the principle of calmness. The principle of calmness. I believe so much that because of the era and the seasons of life that we have as young couples, we are still trying as much as possible to set our career path, set so many things, get so many things right. So we carry so many challenges and burdens on us that sometimes we forget. We just transfer the aggression of them. They are asking you something, and they are asking just like a child will always ask. But you have already mentioned it, and he's still coming to ask you the same question in another way, just like, are you all right? You will not even know when you have said that. Are you all right? Is it not the same question that you asked me, and I am answering for you? And then we need to do our time. Little by little, if such continue, that kind of child will get an impression that you don't always want him or her in your circle, or you don't have time to explain. And then he gets so afraid anytime he wants to even open up and say whatever is in his mind. So let's try as much as possible to practice that principle of calmness. And then principle of calmness as well in when we are teaching them something, and then it looks as if they are not getting it. I know some of us will be like, I've explained it to you more than 3 times. I've explained this to you more than 5 times. And you are still doing the same thing. Because some of us will just complain and say, oh, come on. But sometimes even we as husband and wives, how many times as the wife been saying that don't put your shoe there? I will still come back, I will still put the shoe there. And they are saying it over and over again. But when it comes to us, and we want to handle the children, we say, I've repeated that thing to you more than 3 times. I like going on here or you going on. But as wives, there are so many times that the husband will have mentioned some things to us, and we are still doing it that same way. And nobody is blaming us for it. So let's try as much as possible to exercise calmness when it comes to these children. The Lord will help us in children's name.
Thank you so much.
What can help us to check what you want to get about? When you are talking to a child and you lose your temper, you are not calm. When the child makes you to lose your temper, and you tell them that you are I always tell you, you are calling
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for that. I'm sure many of us, as they were speaking, it was memories rapidly playing through our minds like a film show. You go visiting and they serve you drinks and chicken and just rush it, and your mother just keeps the eye. and you get the message. I can't even count the number of times it happened. Or this month, I think I must have been 6 or 7. That memory will live with me till I die. I don't remember what it was. I think my mom was home. I met her for that thing. She said no. I don't remember what it was. Then my dad came home in the evening. Then I went back to meet him for the same thing. I don't remember the day, but that day stamped forever in my head. You can imagine what followed. And as young as I was, I just got the message. There is no line between daddy and mom. We are one and the same. As if there is no dividing line. So you can't say, okay, I'll go and it doesn't work. And I think when we imbibe that from our years in marriage, our children grew up with that. So that when I was in university, I tell people, most times I don't have to call my dad, then call my mom. Once I call one person, the other person gets the message. He or she would recount whatever the message was. So if it was my dad I called and we said about academics or anything, and if I needed stuff and I said what I needed, my mom would get the message and I would get what I needed. It was my mom I called and I had this challenge and I needed to my dad. He would get the message. He didn't just start at that time. He started from way, way back. Thank you so much for that. So that was just the foundation. We are still getting to where we're going. And no, yes, it was just a brief. We've laid the principles down. We'll now start picking them. Now we talked about trying not to be consistent in the way we deal with them. We should be careful how we act so that the child doesn't retreat. I mean, we agree that these children are young, but even in their young age, they see and understand all that is happening. So I want to ask, is it really possible not to have a favorite amongst the children? You have 4 children, you have 6 children, boys, girls, different temperaments. Is it really, really possible not to, let me say favorite, not to have a soft spot for a particular one over the other?
It's not possible. You might not have a favorite. I think the right word is that there's a particular one that you have a soft spot. Maybe based on what happened, or based on the fact that you saw the child and you are seeing yourself in that child. I think some of us will understand that you just say, the character and everything. So it is possible for you to have a soft spot. It is very, very possible that you will have a soft spot. But what I will say is that it is also possible for you not to show it, that they will not know. But one way or the other, there's a particular child that will just attach to you more. That you will just know that as touching this one, we are farabale. Oh man, that I see we are so quick to blame Isaac and Rebecca. They are so very quick to blame them. You mean what to get paid? As soon as you talk, they will just understand you and say, okay, this is what you want to do. They have done that. As soon as you send them, they've gotten the whole thing and they're already going to go and get it done. So as parents, you will always have a soft spot for a particular one, but it is possible for them not to know if you are able to manage it.
Okay, but I think you answered, because the question I was going to ask was, should we have or should not have favorites? I think she started with that. We really shouldn't have favorites. But again, we're humans, right? So I thank you very much for that. Now this is to Mama. Does our past, when I mean our past, our experiences, maybe as children, as adults, or growing up, what we experience in our house or our homes, does it really affect the lifestyle we bring to the table when it comes to parenting? Like we discussed on it, I don't think anybody could have asked for a better father than Abraham. I mean, he wasn't perfect, but he tried to put forward a God model, right? Look at Rebecca. From what they told us about her, she had very nice upbringing. She would go, Shelly. How did someone, like she was saying on the group, wanting to, how many camels? No? I thought you mentioned the number. A camel, they say, will share 50 liters, 50 to 100 liters. And she will fetch water for that number of camels. So you can picture she had good upbringing. She was well brought. She probably came out from a good home. But again, now we're speaking about their children, and things are going wishy-washy. So, does our background or our experience, does it affect how we raise our own children, whether positively or negatively? That's my question.
It's real. But I want to stress before we go into it that without the help of God, because what is that apart from the principles we mentioned, the Bible, the Word of God, is our guide that can help us. The fact that Rebecca was very hardworking at home does not mean she missed it. It will affect. I want to say it will affect. Let me take for example. If you grow up as a child in a home, seeing the young Danon home orange, maybe the husband offended, she's singing, she's cooking. And the children can even know. You are going to grow up, whether as a male or as a female with that. But then, you can also make amends where it is very, very necessary to make. Mommy said we have learned Isaac and Rebecca. That's where the word of God comes in. These children, from the word God, they say two of them are what? They are fighting against each other. And God has said something. So sometimes when we ask for knowledge of this thing, we want to help situation and we miss it. They try to help situation. I'm sure if Isaac and Rebecca took the two children the way they should be, God has a plan that the younger will serve the elder, the other one. It will come to be. How it will come to be is in the hands of God. Let's don't try to help God. They definitely. The environment is a child stays. What it does helps the child. It to make his own home. It will affect. One time I had some young ones say, everybody was asking something. One was in the room, pressing so after I just think that is what to do. So that we will not go to the negative side. Once the negative side, I was safe because this is a home base. I grew up as a young lady, and doctor said my womb at the back. I'm not going to have children. It was a bad. I was very troubled. But maybe because I didn't understand the reality, I was not bothered. Then we are already, what do people call this? Cutting, dating with my husband then. So my mother sent him go to a younger sister in Lagos. We met the doctor that the womb is at the back. It's not well positioned. Like they will move, they can help to move it to be in position. And then 1977, they called it 75,000. Then I want you to look at 75,000. Although my mom, everybody was ready to assist. I told my aunt, I said, that would God put it at the back. As small as my faith was then, I said, leave it there. Let me get married and let the problem surface. If it surfaces, we will know how to go about it. So I refused it. That's what young people now will do. When I went back to Kano, because we were in Kano with my husband there. I told him the outcome. This is the outcome. He said my ring is all right now. And this is my decision. He didn't say anything. And we courted for long, which I will not encourage. 12 years. Because along the line, when we were prepared to marriage, my people said no, the people said no, there was blah, blah, and we were convinced. So we have to wait for almost extra 6 or 8, 4 years. And when it was time for marriage, he asked me that now if we get married, there's no issue. What will you do? Those sisters will say, it's not my question, in the name of Jesus. I rejected it. He didn't say anything. We went for counseling. The church pastor told for anything there. Now ask us, say, well, if you get married, there's no issue. I hope you will be able to go. I want to go our Lord. Nobody before. He sent us out one by one issue. And we came back. And we came back. But to God be the glory. We didn't wait. So it is very, very important that what we want to see and our faith in what we are doing will help us to build our home. And that one made me to make up my mind. Telling you what the past so I will used to tell them, if you don't give your life to Christ, I don't live for God. So they are cool living. It was a matter of how you only my sister. Go to go. I want to let you go. I want to let you go. That woman, don't say that again to them. They are hearing, they are okay. What I'm saying is that what prompts to take a decision to do something is very, very important. I did not mind the cost. If you won't live for God, die now, so that I know I don't have to. But I was corrected. So we can learn. What I'm bringing up, we can learn from others to live a better, positive life than a negative one.
Thank you so much. So invariably, what you're saying is the fact that you had certain challenges being raised. You didn't like the way your parents were not were very harsh, or were not there for you to raise you. Doesn't mean you can't raise your own children in a different life. Now that leads me to another question. But before I go there, I want to assume also that the fact that someone was raised right does not necessarily guarantee the person would raise his or her children correct. Is that so? Because for me, that also brings for the place of intentional parenting. We have to go out to learn what to do. We learn actively, we learn passively. Anyway, I'm sure we'll be talking about that. So we'll move on to the next set of questions. Mommy, so I don't know, are you familiar with different theories or different styles of parenting? I don't want to use the particular word I'm aware of. I know different people have. Are you familiar with different styles of parenting? What do you know about them?
Praise God. I think the different style of parents, I think they call it parenting lifestyle. So it was 3 that was first mentioned before another one was added to make the 4th one. The first one is the permissive parenting. The second one is the authoritative parenting. The third one is the authoritarian parenting. And then the 4th one that was later added was the neglective parenting. Those are the 4 parenting. The first one is the permissive parenting. Like maybe because of the fact that before I had that child, I went through a whole lot of stress. I know what's autoimmune before I had that. So I believe that baby is only anything he says, anything he asks for, I just have to do. So the child now is like the one that is having the upper edge over the parent. It's the one that dictates what happens in the group. It's the one that dictates whatsoever that the parent. So anything he comes and he asks for, the parent just permits it because of the fact that they believe that the child has the sole right and sole responsibility to do whatsoever he likes. And in permissive parenting as well, in permissive parenting, they give the child freedom. You just give the child his freedom and believe that you can live the way you like. It is your choice and it is your life. And whatsoever you decide to do, that is it. I think that's permissive parenting. And then the second one is the authoritarian parenting. The authoritarian parenting is more like the child does not have a say. The child does not have a voice. The child cannot do anything by himself. Every instructions, every principles, everything that is being told, the child must follow it. And whatsoever thing that does not go as according to what the parent says, it is not supposed to be allowed. That is an authoritarian parenting. I believe that so many of us, we actually grew up in this kind of lifestyle that as soon as, when we're growing up, as soon as we hear peeping, whatsoever thing you are doing, you just disappear. It is an unconscious thing. Everybody leaves the sitting room. You will not meet anybody there. We have all gone. So everybody will just disappear. You know, it's not as if somebody will say that it's today. Peeping, you just stand up, you just leave. I don't know. It's not as if they sat us down and they told us, but it just became a lifestyle that we were brought up in. That's the authoritarian parenting. And then majorly most time, the language that always comes with an authoritarian parenting is that it is more of the parents now trying to protect their self-image, trying to protect themselves. So you hear them say, pastor, you know, it now comes into that. Won't you protect my reputation and my image and do well by yourself because of me? So it's not like you are considering the child, but you are seeing more of yourself because you believe that the child must do what is expected so that people will see you in a good light. And then the third one is the negligence parenting. That one is just as if it's an absentee parent. It's not around, it's not available, whether the child is doing wrong or whether the child is doing right. So anything you like, just do. Any way it comes, no wahala. Whatsoever thing you agree on, he is not even aware of what is happening. And that is why you see some children that the things that they go through, their parents are even oblivious of it. They don't know anything about it. They go outside to talk to people because they believe that they just have parents, but they are not actually available to be a father and the mother that they are meant to be. And the fourth one, which is the most important, that we are expected that we should pattern the lifestyle of parenting after, that is the authoritative. The authoritative. The authoritative means that you are giving the child rules and regulations, and you are providing supervision, but you are also providing a level of freedom for the child to know that these are the rules and regulations, but I'm also giving you a little rope to pull and to do whatsoever thing that you think it is right, but know that my eyes are on you and I am also watching you. Authoritative and parenting also gives room for communication. I think it was my cousin that mentioned it. I was not privy to that kind of thing, but I remember my cousin telling me that they usually have a family meeting in their house every first quarter, every once in a quarter. The dad will sit down, the mom will sit down, the children will sit down. And at that time, you have the right to stand up and say that they mess up. You can say anything at that time. It's communication. I say, yes, daddy I messed up. Okay. So she says that anytime they know that the meeting is coming up, they are already making notes and taking notes of everything. I said, the other day, we're outside. And the dad will say, I want to mess up now. And they will agree. And then that is when they bring up issues of, okay, these are the things we want you to do. These are the things we don't want you to do. So in authoritative parenting, there's room for communication. The father communicates, the mother communicates, and you don't just quiet the children, they also get back to you and give their feedback, and together you work this out. So
thank you so much, man. That was very good. And I hope we're thinking of it. Now, 2 questions on that. People like keep answered one. So I wanted to ask, what is the best parenting style? Maybe I should ask the audience, what do we think? What's the best parenting style? But again, a child is born, he's growing up, he becomes a school-age child, he becomes a teenager, a young adult. He becomes a young adult and all that. Are we saying you can use one style all the way, or is there a room for Don't worry. Let's bear with them. We are all together in this. So I was saying, is it that different styles are adopted at different aspects of the person's life? For example, the way a parent would handle a 12, 13-year-old probably different from the way that same parent would handle an 18, 19, or 20-year-old. I mean, it's still parent-child relationship, but the way they would relate will be a bit different. So, is there a room for switching between parenting styles while a child is being raised, or is it just one and we adopt along the way?
Yes, there's room in switching between the parenting styles, but the one that should be more dominant is the authoritative one. But there are some times that you might need to practice the act of I'm being careful with my word. Negligence. Looking away. Let me use the word looking away. Especially when it comes to teenagers. That you noticed, you saw it, but intentionally you will not react at that point. It might look as if you are neglecting that particular thing at that time, but you are allowing it to go so that opportunities later will present itself that will make you to be able to address that issue the way you are supposed to. Even at times for some children, you might need to practice that negligence as well. Because if you are the one that you have practiced authoritarian, you know there's some child, not as one you carry care. I said, I'm there. They will not be able to listen to what you are saying. You just have to let them know that in this house we enforce discipline. I have one like that. You got to type that anytime I was saying, is it my right hand or my left hand? I should go and bring Kendabi. Is it my right hand or my left hand? The day she said, I just looked at her, I said, none of your hands, just go. So that is me, just saying, just go. I think you already seen it as if it is the authoritarian that is working for you. But at this particular point, I just said, just go. And then when she left, she looked back. You know, she got to the door, she looked back. She could not bring her man on me. And then she left, she went to go and play. Later, she now came and said, Mommy, I'm sorry for what I did. I'm very sorry. You know, so I discovered that in those times, the particular parenting lifestyle will not work all through. Understanding the child, knowing the kind of child that you have, and also the age as well, it goes a long way to be able to train that child. If you have a child that's fearful, anything, I don't know, they might think that's okay by me. And things like that. And then you are trying to use the authoritarian lifestyle for that kind of child. You will kill what's in that child. So at times you might need to do more of authoritative, sitting the child down and saying that this is what you did, it is wrong. You know, you have to do it right, you have to do it this way, and then you will get it. But there are sometimes you don't just listen with them every time. Seriously, you don't just, because they are not listening. I'll give an example. There was one time that she came back home, and then she said that in our school that there's a boy that they fought, that the two of them that they fought. And I said, what happened? She said that she was just sitting down in jail, and then she just came and just beat her. I beat my own back. And I said, okay, sit down. Say, next time, report to the teacher. And then let your teacher be the one to take next step. I believe your teacher will correct. She was looking at me. She was looking at me. And then as she was leaving, she just stood and said, but if she beats me twice, I will return. No. I can take once and go and report. But if it is the second time, I will not take it like with him. I will beat him back. So just like that. So what happened to all the communication that we are having between ourselves? She's not understanding it. So depending on the child, depending on the age, and also depending on the thing that you have discovered that is not working for that child, you might need to change and apply other principles.
Thank you very much, God. So I'm going to ask, maybe this is for introspection now. Between you and your spouse, what parenting style do you think you bring to the table? Or what parenting style you think your husband favors or your wife? Let's just have that in mind, because I'm believing at the end of this, probably it will generate discussions at home, and we'll see how we can modulate our approach to raising children. I don't know. This Rebecca and Isaac thing, it just can't leave my mind. Because I have to go back again. And Genesis chapter 25, verse 28. Says the 27 and 20 says the boys grew up and Esau became a skillful hunter, a man of your own country. That's fine. I mean, big that's passion. While Jacob was content to stay at home among the tents. That was fine, right? Somebody could stay at home. Isaac, who had a taste for wild game, loved Esau, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And I was wondering why. Brother, so and don't you bring I mean, that question kept on, all throughout last week, he kept on running through my mind. Why? So maybe I think we ourselves as parents, we need to, we're not perfect, agree. We're not perfect. Maybe when we examine ourselves in the mirror, we see where we are faltering one step or the other. We can adjust things, and God will help us in Jesus' name. Please, if you have questions, begin to note them because we are moving close to the question and answer time. We have just 2 more questions. How do we deal with parents who have different views on a particular issue? So I'll go practical. I have a daughter, she's 15-year-old, she's in SS3, and we discussed these on phones on the group, right? And father thinks she should have a phone. Mother says she shouldn't have a phone, she's too young. She's just 15. She's not even an adult yet. You've my for me, you've my and it's becoming an issue. What do we do? And that's just an example. It could be so many things. It could be, I want to go to my friend's house to play. Yes, you can go. No, you can't go. How do we deal with it? Or, I mean, the list is endless. So what do you think, Mama? What's your view on that?
Earlier on, we said the father and the mother, we must come to agreement. The problem now is not that girl who should have a phone. The issue is between the mother and the father. The reason, because if we don't agree, it's going to be a problem. We must agree. I will advise the mother and the father to go back to themselves and talk to themselves to see reason why the child should not have a phone. Maybe because I didn't experience that. We had always agreed in anything. Like him, he got to Ife before he got his first phone. We made it that after your jam, you pass, your admission is granted. Okay, you are entitled. That's cool. But what of outing? What of dressing? What of when the child now feels that I know feels that me, I can't be waking up this very early because you people. It's the 2 people, it's the couple that can settle that issue. We'll be creating problems for this particular child on the issue of them. No matter how you see, you should be able to talk to yourself. A child of forget that's okay. I've seen somebody I think it was in the first. But why does she really need to go? 2 of you sit down and analyze it and agree. I always tell people, don't allow children to bring problem between the 2 of you. You were together before children came. That's my opinion. I always tell them, before you came, we were together and we were living. So you can't come. Like the incident he mentioned, I can't remember what he asked for. He came to me. I said no. He went to his father. Unfortunately for his father, I said, go back to Mama. That was when he said, I have spoken to Mama before. That day, when you agree, but now you are disagreeing. That girl we see as mommy loving, daddy is cash. No matter what is going out, up there, outside there, what do you really want for your own children? You should take your decision. So the issue of whether age, the child has no problem. The problem is us. We had an issue. The family wanted to buy a Christmas dress for the daughter. He has one daughter and three boys. Three boys. Yes. They went around the town. They got dressed for her. And the girl said she cannot get any dress to be done that she can wear for Christmas. This is not something I have. It's my cousin close friend. So they must go to Lagos. Like the permissive something. She has a car. The first son can drive, and they drove all the way to Lagos. They bought the dress. So when I landed in travel, I said, what took you to Lagos? He mentioned the name of the girl that she didn't see any dress. Like, I called the girl, come. You don't value what you have until you lose it. If on the way going to Lagos, there was an accident, you lose your mother and your brother, simply because you want to wear a Christmas dress, and she was just a student in chapel, secondary school. Whose fault? Is it not the parents? Okay. Me, I've got one when she said she didn't like the dress. Tell me now, I will spend less. The next Christmas. Go and buy what you want to buy because she's so good. So let's agree, we couple, agree with your wife. Agree, we have been told there's no favor right. There's no favor right. I think the problem we have is that you saw your friend's daughter or friend's son doing it. You want it for your child. You are different. I'm different. I know what I want. They know what they want. I knew when these ones were growing up, that might say from you say, today, ask them. I'm now having 24 hours assignment on those achievements she was not brutal.
Okay, so we're going to take questions. Do we have people who have questions, whether written or can I see your hands? We have less than, we have about 30 minutes at the max. And this is going to be our longest in a long time. But because of the peculiarity of the situation. So, okay, I'll give numbers so that we can stick to time. 1, 2, I have 3, 4, 5. I suppose just 5, right? Okay. I'll add to what Mama said, and I'm taking it from what Mommy Zoe said. There are times when we don't exactly agree on it. Like the example she gave, we're having to discipline a child. But for that moment, she would rein in her feelings. She would stand with her husband so that that child sees one front. Then after, we can now discuss. And I think that I took a lot of that. I'm believing that God will help us to learn from things like that. So I only have one more question for them, besides questions from the audience. I'll just give them time to think about it. So the last question I'll be asking both of you will be, what is God's mandate to us as parents? So you can just ruminate on that while we take questions from the floor. For those of us who are online, please, if you have questions, feel free to drop. I recognize the presence of those who are not here. Some are at home, some are outside. So please drop the questions in the chat box. We'll also read them out. So with that trend, please. Thank you.
I want to appreciate our speakers and Ghana. Thank you so much. My question is this. I have a neighbor who, by God's grace, all our 2 children, we raised them for her. And we've taken these children as our children to see us as daddy and mom. But over time, we realized that she has left her responsibility to us. Now, we want her to see that you have a role to play, give birth to them. They have plans, but they don't have plan for these children at all. So now we now say, I told my wife that we need to let them see that they must plan these children, put these children in their plan. So I have to like push the children back. So we now notice all the culture we've like put in these children that over the time she will take these children to her grandma and their grandma, and the grandma lives in an open place. She lives in Muslim environment. Muslim is not even the issue. But one thing we notice is anytime, even if it is just Saturday, Sunday, that they go to grandma, we discover that everything, all the memory bars, or everything that they learn, they forgot it. The next thing when you are sitting down, you just hear them sing, all these things, or all these circular, they will just be saying some foul things that you don't really expect from children. Some foul things that you don't expect, that even adults should not be saying from the children. So it got now. What make me ask this question is yesterday I was at home. I didn't go anywhere, and immediately they saw me coming back. They ran into our parents. So they were not sitting down. Now came to me. I now went to meet my wife in the kitchen now. And one more thing. God forbid if I'm trying to, if we not give birth, raising this our own children with these children. I'm actually hotel in this environment just because of this children. So what my question is, in such situation, because it has become a burden between yesterday and this morning, that what if I do birth? This children, no one will still come. Now, because I have my children and I want to instill value into them, or yeah, my decision is if it will get to that, it will have to say. So in such situation, how do you manage such situation, or how do you help such parents? Because even up to now, despite the fact that we sat them down at the beginning of the year, we sat them down and let them see the reason why they need to plan for this today. They need to in their plan. But to my amazement, the father was saying, everything for them. So I don't know, how do we help such parents?
I think the challenge is not even to you having children that has to grow up with such children in that environment. The challenge is even more that we have children now that have to go to school with children that are not well brought up, that are not well trained. You have children now that have to relate and be friends with children that they came from divorced homes, separated homes, and everything is not going on with them. So it is more of, it's even global now than just even that environment that we find ourselves. And I think it's a challenge that every parent we have to consider. Okay, I'll cite an example. They were doing end of the year party in my children's school. So I took them there late. That particular day, most times I would draw them before they start. But this particular time, they've already started when I dropped them. And I can sincerely tell you that the song that they were playing was this song that they were dancing down. That they were dancing, that they were doing like this. They were playing with that. They were playing with that. And as soon as I out of the car, the next thing she did, she just did like this. You know, and as I entered the car, as I wanted to, I was like, how do you help in this kind of situation that you take children to schools, and then even if the school is not playing the song, there's a child in our class that will be singing the song because that's the song the father wakes up in the morning to play. And one of the things that I've come to understand, and I believe that it's going to help us, is that can we put more lights in our children so that by the time they go out there, their life will be so strong that no darkness will be able to comprehend them. Can we help them to grow to a stature that they will even be able to know the wrong from the right, even without you being there? See, let us leave this level of they are showing something bad, and then you quickly cover their eyes and say, "You don't know, Do you know the one they watch when they go to grandma and grandpa's house? Do you know the one they see on uncle's phone or on their aunt's phone? So instead of you telling them, don't go, let them understand that this thing is wrong. This thing is bad. So that culture is already imbibed in them. So can we make them a light so much that wherever they get to, no matter the darkness that is around them, they will still be able to stand as light. That challenge is there. But I believe that it is more of a responsibility for us, that we need to increase the intensity of the light that we are putting in our children. And that's why the fact that they get to a place and they are hearing all these things, they could still be able to know that this thing is wrong and we not do it.
Thank you very much. So, Jenny, so what we'll do next is we harvest all the remaining 4 questions so that we'll do them at once.
My question is it wrong to discipline a child? I don't let it go wrong instantly. Like most you see, no, because I don't need to rally and too. I tried that drilling cabassor, but at the end of the day, so I feel instantly so shaky. So which one?
Yes, they are your garments.
Praise God.
Hallelujah.
My first question is that on the aspect of consistency. So, for example, if I have somebody that is not my child now, or told them give anything, something like that. How consistent can I be to the person in terms of parenting? I don't know if you get me. Depending on my child, and those battles of the people, but because the person come out of my hair, only bad which wearing that dollar but okay, you're told they were permitted. To what extent in the discipline they should be? That's my first thing. You get me. The second thing is that is there anything line between me trying to enforce discipline and losing my temper over a time? For example, like I want, okay, it's not eating our food. Then, like the way I'm talking, have I lose my temper in that way? Is there any, is that, say, educate, anything like this, enforcing discipline, and I'm losing my temper. Thank you.
Okay,
and being leader. So they like to run the errand for them. People will talk like my other brother. In fact, if you want to come and pass the place, when it's not, so now the friend that is trying to get food. And the students found the sport, she was complaining. I had this because my other brother is not like that. Because when I told her, I said she's lamp, so she already used to run the errand. So their family is going ahead. But I don't want to ask that. One problem is like, okay, how can we address all these areas? So there might be different ways. It's always commanding that one is not teaching up for you. So how can we address all these areas?
thank you. Mr. Lai, please could you come forward because of the mic so that those online can hear you?
All right. My question is, okay. All right. I discipline my child very well. I postpone. But I have all right. But I have a soft spot for female children, like the female gender. So I used to tell the mom that and I don't know, probably because I'm the only boy or male in my family. I have sisters, so I don't. There's this gentle reason I used to follow. But my first kid is a boy, so if not anyone I punish him, because the mom will say, your daddy will beat you, and well, I will tell her that this one you have to. So how can we balance that, knowing that you don't really have that?
Okay. We have a question online. You'd permit me to, it's coming from Mr. Adebayo. Hello, Ma, can you hear me? Okay, maybe she will type in her questions. Let's just address this one. The first is, how do you deal with instant correction? A child offends, treat it on the spot, and it will work for you. Well, yes, summary, don't wait, no delay, just deal with it. Versus, wait, what do you think about that? Come on, what do you think?
Well, you said the child will forget, but personally, that child has our own moral, no matter how small he is or he is. To just spank publicly, we have to guide against it. If that child is going to forget, immediately did that thing. Did you see what I did? Just pull the ear. That's why I say sometimes you need time. All the has done is step on her feet very well. And let her know you are stepping on her feet very well.
Tell me why he's stepping me now.
Yes. Hello. Yes, that time we have. You don't have to have. Well, that time we remember that you stepped on him or her very well. So do you know why I stepped on you very well? You will not carry out your correction. Because sometimes people want to do it immediately. We do it with the pain of what that child has done, and we will overdo the punishing or discipline, whatever we might call it. It's just like husband and wife. Let's take for example. The wife says something bad, and you are not pleased. It will be wrong to say the rules of solution in the public. Then they say when you can, when you get home, you can settle it. So if that child forgets, she can see or say that you say, "Mommy, why did you do this thing to me?" It could be the gang. When I was the leader advisor in Zion Baptist, some of them then they terrible. You imagine what you're getting, enter all their address. You will see the clothes so rumpled. Undergraduate, how rumpled as your one. So I told them, I said, I'm going to use a system. If I just see you in the church, your cloth is rumpled. You sort of, once I tie your clothes to my own, you will follow me to wherever I'm going. Nobody will know, but we did that. We knew. You will follow me. Address me. So anytime they don't see that I'm coming close, you will see them taking themselves. Because we should also give them that self-esteem. No matter. Self-esteem. That's how I look at it.
But I also want to say that when you are correcting them immediately outside, people will not like this. They don't even know what the child did. So sometimes even outside, before you even carry the girl, I feel like I would have move up, baby. So you just have to leave, and then the child will just go like that, not lesson the lesson that you want him to learn. And then sometimes when you know that you can get angry so quickly, it's better that you don't take any decision at that time and allow it later, so that you can be able to act correctly without emotions being involved.
Thank you, ma'am. So, Mr. Adebayo, are you with us? She can't hear us again. Okay, we're going to move on to the next. Okay, please unmute your mic, ma. Hello, can you hear me? Please unmute your mic.
Okay, yes. Hello, can you hear me now?
Okay, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry, I'm at work.
Okay, I guess so
I
now.
think what I have is a little contribution. Can you hear me? Yeah, I think we need to understand that we need
Yes,
to
please.
know
Yes.
how to communicate. We need to know how to communicate with our children right from home, so that when they get outside, they won't embarrass us. Reason why I'm saying that is because I'm in a different environment now from what we are used to back home, whereby the environment does not encourage you to scold a child, talk to your child anyhow. And I was glad that I've been able to establish certain signs of communication with my kids before we got here. Because this is a place whereby I would I would want to correct my kids and I'll be talking to them in Yoruba and I'll be laughing. Because even when they don't understand what I'm saying, I still have to not make it feel like Mumba won't win anyhow. I understand. You get like I'll be talking to them like "Oh, sure, bro, and I'll be smiling when I'm saying that because I don't want anybody to, go and report me or like say that the way she's talking to her kids, she's not being nice, she's not being this, she's not being that. So I think we need to set a means of communicating with our kids so that when they go out, so that when we go out with them, they understand what we are saying, even without talking. You get it? So I think that is one major thing we need to work on. And also, I think, hello, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can. Please, just have 30 seconds, ma.
Okay. I think another thing is we cannot control the kind of people our kids meet outside. There's a particular girl in my daughter's school that was always bullying her, bullying her. If I got it, I wanted to go and report. But I think my daughter came on last week and told me that the girl, they took the girl from her parents when she was young and took her to a foster home, and she has lived with like 4 or 5 different families. So from there, I took an understanding to where the girl is coming from. You understand things like that. So to look into that also. Mhm. So that's a
Thank you so
contribution.
much, ma. Thank you so much.
Little bit is true.
Audio loud enough for everybody, but she was making contributions still on the point you talked about. Your children, you don't have control of them 24 hours a day. They are with you at home, they are in school, they're in the neighbor space, and the space. And it brings us back to what Mama said. You have to insulate them with the word of God, infuse enough light in them. And so doing, even when you're not there, I mean, we're not the ones who's raising them really well. It's not our power that's keeping them, it's God's power that's keeping them right. So even when they are out of your sight or your presence, they are still in charge. So 3 more questions. Mama will help us address how do you deal with disciplining a male child, a female child, and paying attention to gender difference. So you help us address that. Well, mom is away. How do you come in? I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I have the right to see that proverb. No more well, I don't know if that thing is still relevant because in Africa, children are raised in communities. Your parents are not always there. Many times, it is a church member who saw you doing something and spanked you and reported you, or a teacher or a neighbor. So if we hit on that proverb, then we will not be doing things right. So Mommy Zoe will speak to us about how do you deal with raising non-biological children. Maybe she'll talk to us about that. Then also the issue of firstborn, last one, having to demand being said. So yeah, my address was made. Next 5 minutes.
And
Okay, yeah. So the thin line between disciplining and not losing your temper. So we just have 5 minutes to address those questions.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
I want us to know why do we discipline our children? If we have that understanding, the reason why we are disciplining a child, when we punish a child, it's because we want the child to realize what he has done, but it's part of discipline. So the question is now, how do you to discipline, you are disciplining the male child by leaving the female child? I don't think it is right. If you have the right knowledge of discipline, is to mold the life of that child to be what the child will be tomorrow. Are you not saying the female you don't want to mold? You say that you don't want to mold her. So it's a weak point. Any one of us who have that is a weak point, which we should work on in our own very self. My niece stayed with me when she came. My children will be Ruamala. She will say, she from here she came. They don't do it, they don't do it. And I told her, this boy cannot be funding for you. Growing Amala for you, but you can't. She thought she okay, I was joking. I left her. So any day we will make pandemic, I will tell the children, I will move a yam. You know, I guess because it's my immediate younger brother's daughter. I tell you cannot find, you cannot see. Or when they finish, your own and no go and find. She tried it and eventually she started finding. In fact, she started when she turned Amala for you won't believe. So the aim of training, the aim of discipline is what we should see. Not that she's a weaker person. Sorry, to bed. They say women have weaker vessels. Only Peter has a weak, only Peter are working late. So please, whether they are female children or male children, your aim, your motive, your intention is what you should work towards with your efforts.
Let's go to the question of somebody staying with you. I think the same teaching that you melt out to your children, you melt it out to them as well. So far they see that it's not as if you are favoring your children over them, and they know that the same way you respond when it comes to his children, it's the same way he's responding when it comes to you. There shouldn't be an issue at all. And one of the things that comes to know by the reason of the fact that so many people have stayed with us, even in this short time that we have gotten married, I have come to understand that some came from a home. It's not as if the parents, oh, mama, oh, commercial. They just brought them up that way. Some will say that I don't allow anybody to cook my husband. If I have one, she says that I'm not always tell them that so she will tell them to go and sleep. And she will cook the food for everybody to eat. And because of that, she doesn't know how to do anything. But when she came, I started telling her, oh yeah, do it this way. Put this, put that, put that. And in a matter of months, she started knowing how to do a way, how to roast a more, how to do this, how to do that. I can go on and on so many things that she has been able to learn, even for those times that she stayed. And I want us to know, just like the scripture that Reverend read during the service this morning, that says that maybe for this reason, might be for this particular reason, that they were brought to you, so that you will help them from what God wanted. So it doesn't have to be that you will not say, I want more money, that I'm more money, and you not leave them. But train them together, let them know, let them learn, and then let them be able to say that I remembered when I was in their house. These are the things that they helped me to get. I'm a better person with me. And then to your question on losing temper, I think the question we should ask you is that what is your emotion inside? What is your emotion within as you are reacting? You know when you are speaking with and when you are angry. So you are the one that can really answer the thing like between just saying Jojo and when you have actually lost your temper. So if you can be sincere with yourself, you will know that at this point though, what's in by you. So I think that's how I will answer this.
In one sentence, what God's mandate to us as parents, that's our complaining line. One sentence of just a pass.
So bring up these children to bring glory to God, not us. Because if we aim at ourselves, bring up that child to know God. In every area, when I say know God, not only spiritual, he will bring praise to God in everything. So
I'll read from Psalm 127, verse 3 to 4. Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is love. As arrows are in the hands of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak the enemies at the gates. I believe that the mandate of God for us as parents that will raise warriors, raise arrows, that will be able to speak. You know, there's a difference between fights. They just speak it. That means that they carry this authority and maturity in them, that they could actually speak with the enemy at the gate, and then the authority follows from what they said. So God expects us to build them up in a way that they will be giants and they will be able to get access to whatsoever thing that God has prepared for them.
Thank you so much, Mas, for honoring us. We're going to be speaking and wrapping it up for us.
Praise God. Hallelujah. I have so many things to say, but I want to summarize it by telling you that you are a steward as a parent. You will give account. You will give account. And when you are a parent, don't limit it to the biological children that come to your way. Are you getting what I'm saying? People will come your way, and including the children you adopt. Yoruba did not have that understanding that as a born-again Christian, we are also adopted. As a born-again Christian, we are not the original children. We are adopted. So that gives us room from the word of the Lord to also adopt people into our house and raise them as our own. So when we now do that, listen to me, you are a steward. Please, do you understand that? One day you will give, it's better some children not come your way than they come and you are guilty. Some people will enter here because of their children. Some people will be disqualified in purpose and ministry because of their children. One of the things that brought damnation upon Eli was the children. Please, I beg you, you are a steward. You are a what? You are a steward. There is a purpose why we brought up and fertilized the young couples fellowship of the church. And I can give you 7 agenda of young couples fellowship of the church. But I'm not saying all those things because now you say, oh, that was 5, 10, 3. I just want you to know that this young couples fellowship is actually for fellowship. It's actually to show concern for each other. It's actually to be there as brother's keeper. Have you checked in your group who are not in church today? Have you checked in your group who did not come to midweek service? Have you checked what is happening to somebody in your group? If we are not meeting that aim, then our gathering is useless. That is the main reason why initially we concluded that the young couple must be done in various homes. You know why? Because we get to know where that person is living. You get to know what they are going through. You get to know things that is happening. It was one of the young couple that we attended and that we did in the church, and we got to that house. They did not have chair. And the family came to me. We went to this place. We did not have chair. We have chair that we want to give out. Can we give to that? Give. That is the essence of the young couple. And that is why we discourage combine. The reason why we did combine today is a special. We cannot handle parenting in isolation. Parenting, we have to bring in people and we do combine. Yeah. By the special grace of God, I've been praying that things will change. Amen. God will bless you. Amen. You will return back home. Yes. Today, this morning, we went to go and do naming. As doctor, as Oga. We went to go and do naming. They were coming from Onalikma to our church. Unfortunately, I did not see any member of their group there. It's not good. You know why? They did not want people to come.
Are you getting me? But if their group member, the group leader has been functioning, they will I go for a bimo, go one, set the call hospital, you go one time one, you know, you would have asked. They will be forced to tell you, okay, that turns up on group leader will be there. This is the essence of young. I'm telling you again and again, again and again, again and again, again and again, again and again. It is the WMU that have tried to go and know their house. And the day they went there, they wanted to go there, they were not allowed. The young couple, have you gone there? Group one thing,